Hello guys, going to be breaking down the MLB PrizePicks slate for May 17th on this Tuesday. There are actually 18 games, so you would think there are going to be a lot of props, but I think this board is pretty solid. Like, it's all pretty tight, so not a lot of plays today that I'm feeling too great about. Currently I only have 2 locks. And another thing is that there's a lot of teams that didn't actually announce a starting pitcher, and then the White Sox and Royals, they're in a doubleheader, but we don't know how those are going to go because it's expected to rain tomorrow. So got to have to watch if those are going to be PPD'd. But for what we do have right now, that of course it's going to affect first inning runs props as well. So I'm not going to give any. There's actually only one pitching prop that I like. So to start off, it's going to be Jose Berrios, 29.5 against the Mariners. And I'm going to take the under on this. So looking at Berrios' numbers this year, he's just not the same pitcher. It's already been over a month. He seems like he's having some issues. He's always had, really high upside, but he's just had some games where he's just giving up runs or a lot of hits to lefties, and that's definitely his major concern. And he's also, his walks are not really that high, but expected ERA, that's insanely high. 335 batting average, this indicates that he's been pitching worse than what his numbers indicate, and that's just a very big red flag. You look at this Mariners offense, they strike out league average 16th, but WRC plus, they are the 7th best against right-handed pitchers, and they walk 10th most. So just some problems, some things point towards this being a tough spot for Berrios. So I'm going to take this under a number. I think it is a little too high. Probably is going to be adjusted. So I would say you want to get into pitcher props always as early as possible. Hitters, usually they don't adjust. Now on to hitters. So for fantasy score, there are a good bit, I would say. And the first one is going to be Jose Ramirez, 7.5 against Connor Overton. Connor Overton, I think he has a 1.8 ERA or something, but again, he's not known to be someone that's supposed to be this good. A lot of blue, that's always something that when you see, you just know that he's not going to sustain. It's actually a 1.59 ERA, so this is going to be way higher. His expected is over 3 runs higher, hard hit, bottom 5 of the league, doesn't K guys, just a lot of things that are in the Guardians' favor. Where is this? 4.5 run total. They're playing at home. The weather is not the greatest, but again, it's the pitcher. The Reds are one of the worst teams in baseball. Kwan, Straw, both of those guys do get on base quite a bit. They can also walk. And Jose Ramirez also has the ability to steal a base. You're going up against a righty, so I think 7.5 is more than fair. Probably should be 8.5, and that's a pretty big difference for that 1 point. So I do really like Jose Ramirez, switch hitter, always going to be able to have the platoon advantage. So really like him. And then we're going to go to Randy Arozarena, 5.5 against Detroit. So it's going to be against Bo Brisky. The Tigers, their pitching is not awful this year. They have some good young talent. But Brisky, I'm just not sold on him. He's been, I guess, serviceable. But, again, the expected ERA, not Kane guys, which is a big thing. On Rosarina, he strikes out a ton. And he at least had a better game on Monday. He also was hitting higher up in the order. We don't know if that was just, based on the matchup or something. But he's projected to bat third again. I would expect him to, but wherever this game is right here, 4.5 run total for them. They're playing at home, so the roof's going to be closed with the crop. Just his Franco is going to usually get on base, so Rosarina hitting behind him should be able to battle with guys ahead of him already in scoring position. And Ji-Man Choi, he's really good. He's back in the lineup, so he can definitely drive in a Rosarina if he is on. So with the ability to also steal a base, 5.5, it is just a little low for this matchup, I feel like. And then It is going to be Jesse Winker over 6 fantasy points. So this just goes back to Jose Barrios. He's been struggling this year. He's honestly very bad against lefties, and Jesse Winker is starting to hit the ball really well. You look at Winker's numbers this year, he has been kind of just been ruled by bad luck, but now finally it's turning around. His hits have been actually turning into real hits, not just like, high expected batting averages, but it's like a line out or a sharp fly ball or something, like 225 batting average, but 310 expected. That is one of the biggest differences in the league. He's had a lot of fly balls at the warning track, so he could have a lot more than just 2 home runs. He's K'ing very low. He walks at a high rate. Just a lot of great numbers for Winker here. You got a pitcher that is having issues, so I just think that 6 is a little bit too low for this spot. I think 3.8 is also a very low run total. And another thing is Toronto, if you look at park factors, they're actually ranked the 6th best in terms of hitters ballparks, so that's another very big plus for taking the under on Barrios and the over on Winker. And then the last fantasy score prop I have is Anthony Rendon over 6.5 against Taylor Hearn. So Taylor Hearn, a lefty. I think I actually targeted Rendon last time when they faced off of against Hearn. Just lefty-righty matchup, always going to be very good for Rendon. He's been known to hit really well, hit lefties really well. And Hearn, he's had some good starts in the past, but it just seems like he's really nothing more than mediocre. He's allowing a high hard hit rate, expected ERA is high. He does strike out a lot of guys, but Rendon, he is very good at the plate when it comes to plate vision, so he's not really going to chase. And you look at these numbers, he's also someone that 220 average, but he should be batting higher, and just seems like a good spot. It's going to be really warm again in Texas, 15-mile winds blowing out, 94 degrees, 4.6 run total. And Arlington, they are 11th in the hitters ballpark. So this number honestly should be higher because it's going to warm up. The weather, as we get towards the summer, I expect Texas to be a lot better of a hitters ballpark. But Rendon batting right in the heart of this stacked Angels offense at the top, 6.5 just really makes a whole lot of sense to me. And then on to runs and RBIs. So I think the best 2 plays, my locks, are from here. And we're going to start off with DJ LeMahieu as the first lock. So the Yankees are taking on Spencer Watkins. And Spencer Watkins is also he's a young pitcher, but he's also pretty mediocre. 5.2 run total, one of the higher ones on the slate. Of course, there's Coors Field, but we don't have those props available for this category. LeMahieu, again, he should be leading off. The Yankees, they play phenomenally when it comes to at Camden, and as a leadoff hitter, you're just going to have a lot of opportunities to get on base, have your team just drive him in. You look at Watkins, expected ERA very high, doesn't strike out a lot, which we know this Yankees team does strike out a lot, but when you're facing a pitcher who doesn't strike guys out, that is trouble, and that's going to just make things a lot better for New York today. So really like the leadoff hitter here. And then not a lock, but Kike Hernandez, 0.5. Taking the over on this. They're taking on Jose Urquidy. 4.6 run total here. Winds kind of blowing left to right, but it is Fenway, and Urquidy is someone who has also just been a lucky pitcher. His numbers, you're going to see a ton of blue here. Sure, he doesn't walk guys, but I mean, like you're not walking guys, but you're allowing hits. 320 expected batting average. Not K'ing guys as much. Expected ERA very high. Just a lot of good things as long as KK does lead off again, because he's been, not the best this season, but in the matchup, expected to bat lead off again. Definitely, I'm going to lean towards taking the over for him, and then I'm going to bunch these two together. So it's going to be, it's going to be Colton Wong and Hunter Renfroe, both of them over 0.5. So they're taking on, Oh, he's accidentally hit 2 and then loses the spot. Colton Wong. So they're taking out a lefty. I think his name's Tucker Davidson. Yeah, Tucker Davidson. He's been awful when he's been in the majors, and I think this game might actually be a doubleheader. And you look at Davidson's stats, like, this is horrendous. I mean, the one thing is he is a lefty, but Colton Wong, he did hit lefties really well last year. But I don't know if they're going to start him because they do have Luis Urias back. They could potentially go with a righty to lead off, but if Wong is leading off, I'm taking the over on this regardless of that lefty-lefty matchup because he is scoring a lot of runs. His numbers don't jump off the page, but he's just getting on base somehow and scoring. And in this spot, playing at home, Milwaukee, I think they're one of the, if they're not, then my bad, but I think they should be wherever, they're 14th. So kind of league average, but Colton Wong, just if he's going to bat leadoff against the pitcher like this, very appealing. Should be a higher run total when the probable starter does change. It shouldn't be 4.2 for the wrong pitcher here. And then Hunter Renfroe, that's also one of my favorite plays. Not the lock though, but he's a lefty masher. Hunter Renfroe always hits lefties well. Gonna be facing off Tucker Davidson, a very bad lefty. He is projected about 5th. Tellez, he's definitely, we don't know if he's going to be in the lineup today as a lefty, but Renfroe should occupy a middle of the order spot, and he just absolutely mashes lefties. So really like this. And then now the lock is going to be Taylor Ward, 0.5. So attacking Taylor Hearn. Ward, he is playing out of his mind. Honestly, he should be voted an all-star. He's batting almost 400. He's leading off. Getting the righty-lefty matchup. Taylor Hearn, again, showed you his numbers. He's just not that great of a pitcher. And Ward is destroying lefties. Batting average is really high. And it's only a matter of time before he goes deep. He doesn't need to because he's got 2 MVPs behind him that can easily drive him in. Ward has a tremendous walk rate. So even if he's not getting the chance to swing the bat, he gets walked. His teammates behind him, Trout, Ohtani, are going to drive him in. So really love this environment. High run total. Warm, winds blowing out. So Ward's going to be my favorite play today. And then second's going to be LeMahieu. And I would think I would take probably Berrios under as my third favorite play. But I know there are going to be more props added tomorrow in the morning because we just have a lot of pitchers we still don't know who's going. But that will all be updated on my Twitter as usual. So hopefully we can have another good day today for Tuesday. A ton of games. So good luck on this slate. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.